Hello and welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hofmeyer, and joining me is Erik Hofmeyer. Thank you for coming, Erik.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here. And I just want to let you know that forgiveness is more than saying sorry.
No, absolutely. Man, that's going to be a hit. Samantha James, it's catchy, right? Forgiveness is more, it's not false her saying that. Forgiveness is more than saying sorry. Because have you ever Erik, have you ever been in an argument with somebody, with me, probably in the 90s, and I had to apologize to you, and I just went sorry? That makes you more angry.
It doesn't mean anything, right?
Yeah, it's just a platitude. And speaking of platitudes, I want to start a band called the Platitudes because I was just reminded today about my 90s cover band, Johnny Party and the Furious Funksters. I want to start a new band called Platitudes where all of our songs are just like, it's all right, or it's going to be fine, or it is what it is, or like living the dream, and just really like live, laugh, love. Like I just want all my songs to be that. And just
so it's the pop rock version of Linkin Park where they say a lot of words but don't really say anything at all.
Well, like in the end, it doesn't really matter, right? That's a great platitude right there. I tried so hard to get so far, but in the end, it
Linkin
doesn't really
Park
matter.
was the original Platitudes.
Waiting on the end to come. Like it's just, I just want to do that, and I also want to start another band just called Sports, and I think there is another band called Sports, but I just want to do like songs called Home Run, Touchdown, and hope one of them takes off. Like that's all you need is one.
You just gotta, when you get close, just punch it through to the goal line, man.
And the reason why I say this is because I really think I could get a job with Chris Brander at his music firm with these songs. Like he would promote the Platitudes or Sports. I think I would be one of his clients. I think, and he would do good work for me.
Possibly. The funny thing is he was either engaged or married to Alanis Morissette at the time when they did this movie. Mm-hmm. So probably the whole music industry thing was foremost in his mind. He had some people he was modeling off of.
Red Bulb Records, like that sounds just like any other thing. And Alanis probably knew everything there was to know about recording. Because she was, just that one album. Remember the album? What was the album she released in the 90s that just blew up? Like we're talking, once in a lifetime. There's been about 1,000 of them.
It's Jagged Little Pill.
Jagged Little Pill. That album was Samantha James-esque.
There was a lot of rage in that one. There was a lot of pent up raw emotion.
You listen to those songs. Remember on The Trip? What is it? The Trip to Italy? They just drive around listening to that album the entire time. Steve Coogan and Rob Brydon. But you could feel that. Like, Olivia Rodrigo's new, Stoplights song, Red Lights? Like, you can tell when she's singing, she's broken up. And, I feel like that's sort of close to what Alanis hit. But it was more 90s and Jagged Little Pill and, grungy and angry.
Well, Anna Faris actually drank a lot of energy drinks during the filming to try and heighten the performance and just make her more on edge.
I was thinking about that because, if you've seen the behind the scenes footage, they shot this in Canada and they said temperatures were -40. It was just, it's normal there, but it was absolutely freezing. And I'm watching Anna Faris in this movie and just the amount of energy that she has in every single scene. Like she had to be on 14-hour days while it was freezing outside. And I was just real impressed with her. I remember Paul Thomas Anderson, the guy, if you don't know who he is, he directed There Will Be Blood, Boogie Nights, Licorice Pizza. He was talking about Tiffany Haddish's performance in Girls Trip and how she's always on. That's really hard when it's 12-hour, 14-hour days, and you got to keep that energy. So the more I
just got to bring it every day.
It's and then you can't stop. The more I watch this movie, the more I appreciate Anna Faris, because in my notes I wrote Terminator. I wrote Jaws, the shark, because there's a Jaws shot in this. She's just this force of nature that I like.
So I was struggling with, what is the funniest part about Samantha James' character? Is it the lack of self-awareness or the conviction? What makes it so funny and memorable?
Yeah, she considers nobody else in her world. And I also just think Anna Faris adds a lot to it. Anna Faris adds a lot to it because there's that scene, she's like, I'm busy. Then she goes, I'm busy. What is she busy?
That was improv.
Yeah.
That was a completely improv scene. I watched some of the behind the scenes takes.
So it's got to be her, right? And they went back and did reshoots to add the final scenes because originally she was going to have a breakup album like Alanis Morissette that was huge, and she was going to become an actual artist. But audiences,
I like that better.
But
I like that.
It's crazy. Our audiences didn't like it.
Really?
Yeah, like test audiences did not like it. So he's like, I'm just gonna have her go back and shoot Ryan Reynolds in the balls with a taser. Like she was, and he's also like, this movie took place over 2 days. He said she's not gonna have a character arc in 2 days.
4 days. I think it's 4 days in total.
And there's a scene too where I don't know if you saw the behind the scenes footage, but she's doing like her like at the end when she's just going off, and there's a crew member just kind of sitting there like shaking with her doing that on set. And I can tell that she's watching him just feeding off of that. It's just there's like a feral energy to it, but also like she's always on. Like when Julie Hagerty's so excited to see Chris Brander, we have to say full names, right? When Chris Brander, Dusty Dinkelman, everybody comes home.
Jamie Palomino.
Yeah, Jamie Palomino. But she's like looking shocked by Hagerty's reaction. And then when she's just in the side of a shot, when he's talking to his friends, she's just on another planet. It's like just the amount that she's on in this movie. And I also think she never winks at the camera. She is so unapologetically Samantha James that you almost like her. Like you don't like. Listen, she does. You're right, Eric. You wrote a note when we were talking about this. She essentially gets kidnapped, tasered. I mean, she
was detained for 4 days.
She has a concussion, and
yeah, she fell off a second floor of a mall.
I mean, she's bruised. She has some contusions. This is a woman who, listen, she's a maniac. There's no doubt.
She got in a fight at the metal shop.
Yeah.
Remember the guy was like, "Hey, Ashley Simpson, forgive this," and flicks her off. Then she just loses it.
Yeah, she pounds a guy's head into the ground. I mean, she's getting dragged. So she's concussed. One. Then that bar fight happens. She gets concussed again. Then she fights Amy Smart. There's a lack of sleep. So this is a woman who, she was probably on a bunch of drugs. Now she can't have those. So you imagine how she's feeling from that. Like she can't get her uppers. Like this is a woman who has been kidnapped, concussed, taken to violent places, gotten into fights. But she's just a whirlwind. Like nothing stops her. Like Eric, if you and I fell off the second floor of a thing, got into a fight at a nightclub, and then like destroyed an entire house and drove away, we'd be in jail and in the hospital. Like she just goes home and has her bodyguard break into Chris Brander's house.
I call that a good weekend, actually. Yeah. I mean, that would be.
She's just like she's a force of nature, man. That's what I like about her, and I just think she's always on, and she just gets the role.
She went for it. Like that part after she was concussed, that was actually toothpaste in her mouth when she kissed Chris Brander, and she let the toothpaste kind of slide down his cheek, and you could see Ryan Reynolds almost lose it in the scene that they took. You could tell he was cracking up.
Yeah, toothpaste, and just such a maniac. And like I love the horror scene where the brother is in the bathroom and he's looking up and down, and you're like, oh okay, when Mike Brander is in the bathroom and then he closes the mirror and she's behind him, like it's a horror play. Like she is the boogeyman. Like she's just like It Follows. That's what she is, and that's what I dig about her though. And I just like that. Like eventually she just leaves. Like she doesn't need Brander. She just like takes off. Like I'm out of here. She finally gets
what was she even doing waiting for him anyway? She could have just gone anywhere.
Yeah, that's true. And then she's like, I want to go to France. And then well, I think she likes him.
Yeah, I think deep down she did. There's somewhere in her that wanted to actually spend time with him.
Man, she does get kidnapped and concussed and beaten over those.
They talked about a sequel. There's talks about a sequel featuring her or a spinoff. But Bruno came out around the same time, and they had similar storylines, like the musical with Bono and all the other artists at the end of Bruno. Well, like that was kind of what they were thinking about with Samantha James, because she actually mentioned Bono and like swinging by his house.
But for tilapia, in Ireland, right? Was there tilapia?
Yeah, well, he wanted to bring her into the forgiveness song.
Yeah.
All Bono-y. Forgiveness is divine.
She could have done it too. I don't want that though. Like remember Rose Byrne and Get Him to the Greek? Like I'm not a fan of Get Him to the Greek, that movie, but I love Rose Byrne because she shows up, she lights everything on fire, she acts like a maniac, and she gets out of there. Like movies like Tessa Thompson in Thor Ragnarok, her first shot she's drunk and she falls off a ship, and then she just gets to have fun the whole time. Like that type of character is not sustainable without like a character arc that makes you more watered down. And I don't want to water down Samantha James.
No way. It's funny. You mentioned Get Him to the Greek. I thought the same thing because they did a parody of the pop star going to Africa to do some quasi humanitarian song. Like the song that brought the demise to the band Infant Sorrow was the African Child album with the music video. And after that, his career just took a nosedive. So there were parallels between Anna Faris's character and Russell Brand.
Yeah, and what I like, and get him to the Greek, you spend a lot of time with him, and they try to like normalize him and be like, oh, he's a rock star, or, oh yeah. But in this one, she's just the Terminator. Like, I don't want any, like, the amount of pain she takes, and then she's fine. Like, I love it. And also too, Amy Smart the more I watch this, the more it made me realize that I love it when Amy Smart freaks out in movies. Remember in Rat Race when she's like, and trashing her boyfriend's house in the helicopter? Do you remember that?
Yeah, she lost it.
And then
you know why I like that is because I think her standard character is I call it effortlessly cool. She's just always so cool without needing to act cool. Yeah. No matter where she's at. So you like a little bit of crazy thrown in there.
And like, she gets into the fight with Samantha James, and then it reminded me of Crank. How in those two movies, Amy Smart just goes for it. I mean, she is like, those are unhinged movies. I mean, they're very aware of what they are. But watching this, when she just starts yelling at people, like, she gets pissed in this movie. Like, she starts fighting. Like, that's what kind of
it's more self-defense. Samantha James rolled up on her property.
Yeah, but she jumped. I like it though. But she jumps in it. Like, there's no hesitation in there. Like, Jamie Palomino is gonna throw down
the Jersey girl.
And I love. She's like, ready to rock. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. Like, she's ready to roll.
She's Jersey.
Alongside, like, she can she can bake, and then she washes dogs, which are really random phone call scenes, which has to be a joke because the way they're framed, and like the way that her hair is like Gloria lit, like they definitely are trying to put across a certain aspect of her. But I love Amy Smart's character because you know how many movies of these where we've just seen the blandest of bland characters, and you're just supposed to like them because the script says so. But like when she starts throwing down with Sam James, or when she starts yelling at people, I'm like, yeah, she's cool. Like,
can I build on that for a second? I think one of the things I loved about this movie is that everyone was funny. Her dad was funny. He was a kind of a jerky guy, but he was funny. Mm-hmm. You had Julie Hagerty was funny. The little brother was funny. His boss at the record studio, the guy that was like. These pants make you look fat? Yeah. Hell no. Yeah. Daddy wants a fish. Yeah. But everyone was funny in this movie. And that's you don't get that often. Even the romantic rival, Chris Klein, was funny.
Oh man, Dusty Dinkelman. He's just Dusty Dinkelman. Like, what I like about Chris Klein. I think you read the same interview. The AV Club interviewed the director and the writer. So they interviewed Roger Kumble and Adam Tex Davis. And what they said was, it's like a Batman Joker type thing, where they both had like, they both were like the nerds who were put in the friend zone.
They were born in nerddom in high school.
And like Chris Brander, like, there's that scene in the beginning where he's like, really, like there's this lady, and she's like, listen, I just really want you to like treat me as like a human. And he's like, yeah, you're not a human because you wear tight clothes. I'm like, geez Louise, but like that's mean, but I guess
he was out there.
Yeah, when he said that, I'm like, oof. But I guess he's not so far gone that he's gone Dusty Dinkelman. Like, Dusty Dinkelman is just id and just lying, and like he's just a monster pretty much. So you have the Joker and Batman. That's what the director said. Like, Dusty's gone. Like, Dusty's not coming back.
Well, I was surprised at the end when he lost it like he did at the bar, where he said some really crude things and he slapped a random woman on the rear end. Then he threatened to punch her boyfriend on the way out.
Yeah.
But normally if you're a player, you're probably not going to like expose that side of you too much. It may come out in glimpses, but he just let it all out. Like, he's that far gone where he's like, I'm not even going to pretend anymore.
I mean, he needs to talk to Bill Bellamy from how to be a player.
I remember that movie.
Yeah.
He just drove around all day long and visited different women's houses. Yeah. I remember watching that in high school.
And then he got burned at the end. And then he's like, no, I got burned.
I don't remember the end.
Yeah, I don't know why I remember that. And also like Booty Call too. What a crazy movie. There were like I miss those kind of films. But I don't. I guess with Chris Klein, like whenever you see him, you're like this something's aside from Election, right, where he is just wild. Well, and American Pie, he has a very earnest side. But I think the two strongest things about his performances in movies that I've seen a lot of his films, where he's either super earnest like an Election, where he is just you know like remember how good he was in Election? You just liked him. I remember you watched it and you're like,
Yeah, he
this
nailed
dude,
the character.
yeah.
You really bought into because he didn't even vote for himself in the actual election, right?
And like he comes across as a way that you actually believe it. And then when he was Oz in American Pie, the whole thing with Mena Suvari, like he was kind of the gentleman of the group. Like he actually liked singing in that thing. But then I also like him when he has this manic bully energy to him because he's a pretty intimidating looking guy. And it's like when he started throwing fists and like just being evil, I kind of bought into it 100%. I liked it.
You know what I liked most about his performance? It was how good he was at delivering passive aggressive lines. Like, hey, whoa, take it easy there, Gretzky.
Yeah.
or calling out Ryan Reynolds as his retainer. Or like making fun of his sweater. He's like, oh, great sweater. Or inviting the mom with him to the movie. He was really good at he was playing the game, and all these little subtle jabs at Ryan Reynolds' character I thought was great, because it's a good passive aggressive line is more intriguing and nuanced than if you're just straight up rude.
Yeah, and he was sneaking him in there too. Like you know when someone's being rude to you, but you can't really prove it. But if you tell people they're being rude to you, they're like, yeah, just get over yourself. But they're like, look, he did it again. Like that's a Dusty Dinkelman classic. And also when
Yeah,
he's
they're
talking
so
about
subtle, you don't know if he's being sincere or just being a jerk.
like inviting the mom, like that's good timing. And also too when he's like, I find a resplendency in the simplicity of Nicholas Sparks' writing. It's just
It's a good use of the word resplendent.
But you know, I also like though his character too because it just shows sort of like the entitlement of how he became. Like he just started expecting things from his persona. So I like that they threw that in there. Like he became this guy, like this Joker guy. Hey, I put the time in. Like this is what I deserve. Like it was kind of good to have. You know what's interesting? We talked about Heat the other day on the podcast, and De Niro and Val Kilmer, they're all murderers, right? But then you got Wainwright. What Wainwright? That's Rufus Wainwright. Man, who's the guy's name? I can't.
Is that the Irish piano player?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But you have Waylon. Oh gosh, people are gonna kill me. I just watched this movie. But you have in their crew, you have a serial killer who's a snitch too. And so it's like, oh, well, yeah, De Niro and Kilmer murder guards, but you know what? They're not serial killing snitches, so they're not that bad. So then in this movie, you have Brander who comes home, who's just he's not a monster, but he's not a good dude. But then once you compare him to Dusty Dinkelman, Dinkelman, who has like outwardly, like he's Brander is not being himself, and he's playing stupid games, and he's reverting back to his childhood and just being an all-around idiot. But Dinkelman has like a malicious, lying side to him. So when you have Chris Brander compared to Dusty Dinkelman, you have a kind of like a nice way of creating a villain in it and taking your mind off Brander's shenanigans. Because
it's more excusable.
like when they go to Notebook, he's like, I'm gonna dress like a nice guy just so I can like win over. Like I'm gonna not be myself. I'm gonna like dress as like something else. So he's playing a really weird game. But then
remember when he came to that conclusion about being like a really nice guy, the dentist friend and the dental hygienist assistant were just rolling their eyes like, oh yeah, this is gonna go great.
Yeah, oh gosh. Yeah. It would be fun to see Brander coming into town every 10 years and just causing tons of crap. Like, every
when
10
you
years,
come to town, back to town.
Brander rolls. But like Brander, he's doing all this stuff. But then like Dinkelman is just so evil that, and he's evil, that it creates it takes your mind off Brander and puts like, Dinkelman's the villain. Then like Dinkelman's outplaying him. And eventually, what's interesting? Once he
adds an element of stress too and competition.
Yeah. No,
it raises the stakes
because he beats him up in the church, like, because then he starts becoming like Dinkelman. Like like Dinkelman brings out the worst in him. Like and then
right.
like in the church, he's like, you're a game. And I think at that point he's like, oof, this was, yeah, I'm Dinkelman territory right here. So like, yeah, that's where the character development, I guess, comes in. It's like Dinkelman brings it out of him because it's like, oof, I don't want to be this guy.
Yeah, you brought up a couple of good points there. You talked about the overachieving romantic rival who seems too good to be true.
15 fingers.
That is one of the many themes I really liked about this movie, and I'm so impressed with the writing because one, you've got, I think central theme is that feeling of unreciprocated love, or was it unrequited love? I think that's the main theme. But then you got the ugly duckling story. Then you have Christmas time, everything that goes into Christmas, and then you've got high school reunion of sorts. I mean, he hadn't been back in 10 years. 10 years, man. Oh, wait, that was Grosse Pointe Blank. Yeah. But you've got like that feeling of like, okay, you go back to your hometown, and how has everyone ended up? They had the football jock, you had the best friend, and you always have the kind of this drive inside of you that wants to rack and stack you against your high school peers. It's because you want to know how everyone kind of ends up. And then you have how the trauma that you experience in high school in one form or fashion stays with you the rest of your life. I mean, whatever happens in high school, that does stay with you for a long time, regardless of your situation. I'm convinced. So you've got all these different, and then you got the rom-com thing where boy meets girl, boy loses girl, boy comes to, get her back at the end. So there's like 5 or 6 really cool themes that are stacked on top of each other that made a really unique mixture of a movie.
Yeah, I mean, he flies all the way back to California, then he goes back all the way to Jersey. That's some flights right there from Brander's side.
It was a red eye.
Yeah, that's true. Brander can sleep through it. He gets first class. Okay, Brander's 27, right? 27, 28. He's a millionaire. So
yes.
He leaves high school. Who knows what his grades are, right? So he leaves high school. He goes to university. He goes 4 years, right? Gets out of school, 22. Then he, what? Does he get his master's? Does Brander get his master's?
I'm guessing that he was an intern throughout college and worked his way up.
And then he made like a good signing during that time. And then that's what made him hit big. So I think he interned. That's interesting. Because I was like,
it was a rapid rise to the top.
To have that house is that's a multi-million-dollar home he has in the hills there. So yeah, Brander pulled bank on that. The bubble's gonna burst though. What, 2008 around, by the time like piracy and Napster comes around, album sales go down, but then everyone realized. I just watched a documentary called Dawn Raid about the New Zealand hip hop scene and how badly like Napster and all that killed their business because they stopped selling CDs and they got pirated a lot. So yeah, that's a completely different movie with him. Never mind. I would like to see Brander dealing with Napster. Sorry.
The sequel opportunities are endless from this movie. I mean, Samantha James spinoff, Chris Brander 2.0 with Napster.
And have we seen brothers like this? So what I liked in Beautiful Girls, which we talked about, is where you have David Arquette and Timothy Hutton as brothers, and they're not like outwardly antagonistic of each other, right? Sometimes when a brother comes home after 10 years, like David Arquette was just happy to see his bro. Like he was a waste case, but he was just like, hey man, like it's good to see you. In this one, I love their fights. I love their slaps.
They were actually slapping each other.
Yeah,
those
you
were
could tell.
Actual slaps.
Trips, like there's some insane physical comedy on here, but then they're eating cookies together, and like I love you, bro.
Is that I love you. I love you too.
Yeah, and like that was refreshing, I guess, because we don't get much of those relationships, right? You never really see that in. I don't think I've ever seen a brotherly relationship like this, and maybe it's not totally true, but I liked how he comes back and they just immediately start slapping each other.
When they first introduced the brother, he was walking into the house with a pair of some kind of tool for cutting chains and a street sign. Like he had just stolen a street sign from somewhere in the city. He brings it in. He gets excited. He slaps Ryan Reynolds on his way to sit next to Samantha James. I mean, it was a really good character introduction. That this guy's a misfit.
Yeah.
Like he's just out running around, stealing signs and slapping people.
Yeah, Julie Hagerty is a good, like she's chill, but she doesn't know where he is at all during this and all of his posters. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like the relationship too. How his brother actually helps him out, but he's 18, so he makes horrible mistakes. And I like that he calls him like a human void. Which is,
Ouch.
yeah, remember when he said that to them? Like and then they
I
keep
like the
slapping.
truce thing. Like
Oh
the
yeah, truce.
truce.
And then they
And they
kick
never honor the truce.
Mm-mm. And they kick the door open and this they screaming. Like I don't know. I just thought it was an interesting brotherly relationship because it's like, oh, you haven't been home in 10 years. Like, what do you know? You don't know our family. Like, you haven't been working at the auto business, working all this time. Like, now you come back, think you're the golden boy. Now they just start slapping each other and eating cookies. And like their mom
It's
dotes
great.
on them. And they get sick tummies.
And they work together.
Yeah, they actually team up. So yeah, I like when this is quite a streamlined movie too. It's not the longest picture ever made, so I kind of appreciate how the thing just I mean, it's 96 minutes.
They packed a lot into 96 minutes. I was trying to calculate the pure number of slapstick moments or embarrassing moments, and I'm somewhere around 20 because they packed a lot in this movie.
I think
you had to do all these introductions, you had to set up the story, and you had a lot of cool characters that had room to breathe with their characters as well.
I think the best slapstick bit was when he got hit in the face with a puck, but then he got strapped to a gurney and it flipped upside down on his face. Like that.
Yeah.
I felt that.
Can I cover the hockey one for a second?
Yeah, go
so
for
I
it.
actually went through, and there's within that hockey scene, I'm counted 9 different slapstick moments just in that 5 minutes of the hockey, because they introduced him. He's falling. Because remember at the beginning of the movie when he saw the guy falling at the ice rink and the guy was trapped in the friend zone and he meets the girl and he says, "Oh, why are you talking about to me when you're out with your boyfriend on the ice?" And she's like, "That's not my boyfriend." And it was total role reversal. Like he's out skating with Jamie Palomino, since we're going with the first and last names like they did in the movie. So he was falling. Then he tried to kiss Amy Smart, but he headbutted her. And then the kids made fun of him, and the kids were slashing him and fighting him during the game. Then he got hit in the mouth, and then the sled crashed. You felt that sled crash. I mean, that was a good bit where it reversed and he would land his face first. But then in the ambulance, Dusty was getting Jamie's number on a piece of paper that was on his chest, and he couldn't do anything about it. So he had to experience that. And then Dusty called him Gretzky. Like, "Oh, take it easy, Gretzky." And then he got hit in the junk with a bottle that flew off the shelf when they hit a bump. All of that in one hockey scene. I mean, that is jam packed with slapstick.
Yeah, because you know what I like about that, and this is gonna sound super obvious, but like they wrote that scene like that, like that wasn't an improv. Like you can't improv that entire bit. Like they had to program that CO2 can to shoot out. Like you watch that CO2 can, it's just waiting. Like there's a special
I think someone pushed it.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out how they did it.
Yeah.
Someone must have had a hand behind there and just pushed it out.
Yeah, it's just waiting there, and you can see it pointed out. Like, but that's the gag. Like I like that. Like we're gonna put him in an ambulance. We're gonna put a clipboard on him. He's gonna make some faces, and then we're gonna drop a CO2 tank on his junk. Like it's I mean it's not the most in-depth humor ever, but I like that they wrote. Okay, this sounds crazy because it's screenwriting 101, but you have the beautiful house with all the decorations that gets destroyed. You have the hockey playing that comes back to haunt him later on. So I think that you have Dusty playing a guitar, he plays a guitar later. I think that as far as like a script, it is quite tight, I guess, in regards to what happens. Now I have a question though, like why should Jamie Palomino love Chris Brander? Like they were friends in high school. She made that clear. And then he comes back and she's like, "Hey, you want to get coffee?" And he goes, "A date?" But like she's just like, "Hey, I want to catch up with like my friend." It's like, why? Like, and then she's like, you know what I mean? Like what? Why that's my one problem. Why does Jamie Palomino have to love Chris Brander?
I have a few theories, and a lot of this is speculation because I've seen the movie way too many times. But do you remember how when they were at the bar in the beginning and Darla kind of mouthed the words, "That's Chris Brander," when she was behind the bar and she was like, "Holy shit, what happened?" And they also alluded to how she just got over a relationship and her dating life sucked. And at 27, I got the feeling, and they did mention it, that she wanted to have a family. She wanted to settle down. And I think it's that ugly duckling story where I think let's say the roles were reversed, and it was a guy who had a female best friend who grew up to be beautiful. I mean, of course, the guy, if they met 10 years later, he's going to be like, "Yeah, wow." you know. So I can see her, having that instant physical attraction after all those years and being just like so surprised by it and kind of opening up those possibilities for her. But I think they did care about each other. They did, but I think that's one of my complaints that I had of the movie is that there's too much slapstick, and I just wish they spent more time showing the chemistry between the two. Like just hanging out and having fun, doing something. But yeah, I did wish that they'd let that breathe a little bit to allow them time to just be normal with each other.
No, that's a good point too, because Ebert, he gave this movie 1 star out of 4, but he said the best chemistry belonged to Faris and Reynolds because they're funny together. Like they're just maniacs. But yeah, they didn't focus on the love story because he does come back after that flight and he's like, okay, we're back together. It's like, well, yeah, I would say that's the one part. Like I like the deleted scenes for this movie because they did the dance together with the cheer, and then there's a couple other moments that just gave their relationship time to breathe, I think, and I think it needed that between the two of them. And it
if they gave it like 5 extra minutes, less of slapstick and 5 more of them just spending time together and showing that chemistry would have made it next level, I think.
I wonder if the additions of I wonder if they realize how funny like Anna Faris was as Samantha James, and then that kind of suffered, with their love story, if that makes sense.
Oh, like it overshadowed it?
Yeah, because sometimes in movies you can just tell when there's like a filmmaker's not interested in a character, right? I've watched movies before,
right,
where this is really odd, but for Deep Blue Sea, the podcast, we covered that movie The Covenant, which was directed by Rennie Harlan. And when I was watching, I'm like, man, he does not like this female character in this. Like, she's supposed to be like one of the female leads. And then during the commentary, he never mentioned her name. So I was like, yeah, of course. Like, he probably wasn't interested in.
He was nonplussed.
Yeah. And so, like, I think Amy Smart's cool. And I think, the way she was lit, the way, like, they let her act. But she didn't get enough time. Because Dusty also takes away from that as well. Like, so you have you have Sam James running amok, and then you have Dusty Dinkelman running amok, and then you have the brother running amok, and then you got Joyce out there. Who knows where Joyce is causing problems?
But Joyce stole every scene that she was in. Yeah. I think.
And I just I love I was thinking about the other Amy Smart movie, Outside Providence.
Classic.
And there's a moment in that movie. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about. He's like, his brother's injured. My brother had a freak accident. We were playing touch football and he fell off the roof. But there's like scenes in that where he gives her like a dentist necklace, the dentist thing that holds the apron on. Like that movie is all about their relationship kind of blossoming because he's like the poor kid, she's like the rich kid at the school, and that I don't know why I thought of that, but I felt like that was a cool love story or like a better done story than this one was. But it
does bring up a good question. Like, why do they like each other so much? They didn't really answer that, as adults.
Yeah, I guess but I think like you said, like, he came back, he's Ryan Reynolds now, he's jacked, he's Hollywood, that kind of stuff. But what's interesting? She was a substitute teacher who worked at a bar, and I was a substitute teacher who worked at a bar. So I feel for Palomino living with the parents at that time. But yeah, I just wish maybe but see, also it's a tight movie though. So do you want them to dance together in the lights? Like, I think that is a good moment for them, but what does that come at the expense of?
It's a good question. I think I only started thinking about that after my 3rd or 4th viewing of it. So it's like, it's not something you catch when you first watch the movie.
Yeah, I really think the director I don't know. It just seemed like the guy who wrote this, Adam Tex Davis, he said he was in one of these for like 2 years. Like, geez Louise, man. He's like, and he said that in his head he was a vice president, and that girl's that he likes boyfriend was the president. If the president got killed, he would step in. I'm like, that's a weird way of looking at things. But you figured he would give this character more, like he almost looks at her with kind of anger a little bit. I don't know, like he doesn't give her much of a personality.
I don't know. It was a bro-centric script.
Yeah.
I mean, it was one of the most bro-centric, for lack of a better term, romantic comedies that I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
This is definitely a romantic comedy from the male point of view.
Because, I guess there are, there's a lot of movies where there's like awesome bros and like about a boy, right? He's awesome, but he's an absolute slacker, but he's rich. And then there's McConaughey ones where he's kind of like a man child and like not living up to his potential, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, but in this one, he's just a super talented dude. In this movie, Chris Brander loves making the money. He loves his life. Like, he even says that. Like, there's no character arc for him at all. Because remember when they're talking, he opens up about himself. He's like, I love my job. I love my money.
Especially the money.
Yeah. And he's not lying.
I used to think that achieving all this success and money and celebrities would make me happy, and I was right. It does.
Yeah. It's like, what is his arc? To be himself?
I think so. Because the whole time you're like, for the love of God, just be yourself the whole movie.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess you just look at Dusty.
But he's also, I don't know, I think he had a facade up. He had all that trauma from high school that he was just living the dream and just not being himself. So it was 10 years of just not being himself.
I mean,
it's like he didn't know who he was.
You see him with the snow globe.
Yeah. He even said that, like, I don't want to be myself.
Yeah.
So yeah, he even said that in the movie.
Like, he reverts to such a baby. Like, not a baby, but like a pampered kid with like, I got a tummy ache. And his snow globes and getting fed cookies. Like,
yeah, it's like he dropped the facade, the veneer of the LA guy for a couple days.
Yeah.
He let himself be vulnerable again.
And just let his mom take care of him. And it's funny too. You asked me another question when we were going about this, of movies with really funny casts. And that also led me to think about Airplane with Julie Hagerty. Everyone in that movie steals that movie. And she does. But also you mentioned it, Grosse Pointe Blank. I mean, that's another refreshing come back to town after 10 years movie, because Cusack is just a hitman in that movie. Like, he's in trouble. And so he's not some nerd. He's not he has really no hang-ups from 10 years ago. He's just a hitman who doesn't like sit next to windows, can't have his back to a window, wants to rekindle with Minnie Driver, but he has Dan Aykroyd after him. And then Piven's the only 10 years. Like
that's another one where you're like, should I really root for this guy?
He's a murderer.
Like, he's a hitman.
But he's so honest about it. What's interesting? In this one, Brander's he's just kind of mean sometimes. Like, but then he doesn't kill anybody. But for some reason, the way that Cusack is so open about his murder, and he tells everyone the truth. And, wasn't he in the military?
That's right. They all laughed it off. They thought they didn't believe him or something.
Yeah, didn't he say he was in the military and he got kind of brainwashed and he got like pulled into it when he was young and like he wants to get out of it, like he's just not happy. He's a morose, depressed 1990s hitman that only John Cusack could play, but he's very open about it. Like, I kind of like that lack of drama, and I think there's some of that here. It's more slapsticky. Like, I like that Brander doesn't have to overcome, because he doesn't have to overcome much in this, right? He reverts a little bit, but he's still happy with who he is. I don't know, but I don't think John Cusack overcomes anything in Grosse Pointe Blank either. Can you overcome things in 3 days, Eric?
I don't know.
Beautiful
Maybe.
Girls?
I don't know. I think you can have an epiphany in 3 days.
Yeah. I think Beautiful Girls does that. Another high school reunion, 10-year away movie.
Well, he also took a lot of shots to the face. I mean, he got punched in the throat. He got hit in the teeth. He got punched in the face.
Yeah. He healed up pretty quick, too. Those scars.
Oh, yeah, that's right, with his retainer.
These are tough people in this world. One time, Eric, I was playing tennis and at Hudson High School, and I got mad, and I hit a tennis ball. And instead of hitting the chain link fence, it hit the metal pole, and it came flying back into my face. So that hockey puck scene brought back high school memories.
I remember one time I hit myself in the face with a tennis racket, and I actually started bleeding during a match because I got so angry. I headbutted my tennis racket.
Oh man,
that's the weird thing about tennis is you don't have anyone to talk to. You can't get coached. You're all on your own, and then you just kind of lose it sometimes.
You swear at yourself out on the court and call yourself stupid.
Yeah, you have no one else to talk to, so you just talk to yourself the whole time.
I want a graph of in the real world, how many times people call themselves stupid, and then how many times that person calls themselves stupid on a tennis court.
The chart just had these spikes on it.
Yeah. But I do remember, man, I hit this tennis ball, and everyone saw it, and everyone was just like, "What? No one said anything." I was stunned. The audience,
it just made you madder. Made you...
You know what? I think it made me less mad because, I mean, because you can't act cool after that, right? You just kind of have to suck it up. Does that make sense? And if you get even madder about it, people just start laughing. Like, if like you know what I mean? Like somebody does an incredibly bozo thing and then gets laughed at, but if you like trip and fall and make a joke out of it, people are kind of like, oh, cool. But if you're like, son of a, you look worse. I think. I know. It's a weird take. Just let it go. But yeah, he eats that thing. Jamie's, she's, what's Jamie thinking? He comes back. He acts like a total jerk. I mean, listen, they did give him those pancakes. Like, that's pretty rude. And she called him like a chubby monkey, the waitress.
He tried to stab the server's hand.
Oh, yeah.
With a fork.
And so.
It's like, yeah, I used to get this when I was a whale.
And then he rents a Porsche. And then. Then he invites her to the notebook. It's
painful to watch all the decisions.
He's skating terribly. I mean, yeah, she puts up with a lot of Palomino, and then he gets into a fight.
Well, she went and hung out with him after Samantha destroyed her dad's house. Yeah. Actually, that was the majority of the budget on that movie. That was like their one big stunt that they had.
Yeah, that one. I watched the behind the scenes videos, and they said that was the biggest budget. I mean, it's not even that. I don't think it's needed. If that's the biggest budget, you could have budgeted and that's a night shoot too. That sucks.
I think it was the crescendo though. It was the crescendo of all the humiliations throughout the movie that you had to go bigger, bigger, and bigger.
And then they just blow up the Palomino's house. And then she goes to Dinkelman to listen to him perform, and then he fights Dinkelman in the church. Oh man, this is a weekend. How are you? Like, are you?
Come back to town. You come back to town. That's one of my favorite lines in the movie.
Is that bouncer gonna let him back in? Because the bouncer's like, and don't, and stay. Wait, what does he say? And don't come
stay
back.
Out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, something.
I always wanted to say that. Is he allowed to go back in the bar now? He did.
There's different bartender or different bouncer on shift.
I've always wanted. When I booted out many people at bars, and I just would let them in again. It's fair.
You would?
People have bad nights. If it's a regular who has a bad night, I would toss him. But,
Did you give him a look, though? Did you give him a look like, I'm watching you?
I just didn't want to remind him of it. Just be cool about it. Like, people know that it's a friendly place, but they know that I'll pick them up. I'll pick them up and throw them out or put them in timeout. But that was a good bouncer, man. I respected that guy. I've always wanted to say that. Like, that's, I don't know. I guess for me, Eric, the first time you watched this, right? 2005, it got released Thanksgiving Day weekend, and it got buried by like Harry Potter. And I mean, this movie didn't really it made 50 million worldwide, which isn't terrible, but the studio seems to have high hopes for it, but they kind of crunched this thing with its release date. The competition was gnarly.
Yeah, and I did a lot of reading for this, and some of the directors and actors talked about how over the years went by, more and more people said, oh, I saw the movie over Christmas. So it became like a Christmas movie that people could return to every year.
Because people want that.
So it picked up steam.
People want that counter programming in Christmas too, right? You don't want to watch Miracle on 34th Street all the time. You want to go watch something, Gremlins. Like, that's what you want to watch.
Yeah, you just want a hit of Christmas. You want to have a little bit of the singing and the snow, enough to kind of whet your appetite.
But yeah, all right. So this movie, right? It opened up when it opened up, it was against Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Walk the Line.
Ouch.
Yours, Mine, and
Was that
Ours.
The Rock? Was Walk the Line the Rock one in Alaska?
Oh, that was Walking Tall. Walk the Line was Johnny Cash. Man, remember in Walking Tall how the main villain was Neil McDonough and he took Dwayne Johnson to the limit? And now Dwayne Johnson's moving torpedoes with like his bicep. I miss old school Dwayne Johnson. And then also
falling off 3-story buildings onto a car.
And then Rent, and then Chicken Little was out too. So like, yeah. And then the next week, it had to go up again. Well, actually, it wasn't that strong, but it still had the same. Like Aeon Flux opened up. That was supposed to be bigger than what it was. But then Narnia opens up, and then Syriana opens up. Then King Kong and the Family Stone, which is like a Christmas movie. So it didn't. I don't know. It just didn't seem like it seemed a little buried on that weekend, but they had to get it out, but just didn't have a chance in that kind of market at the time. And like 2005 was a weird year for comedies too. I was just looking at the 2005 comedies, and this was a year of like The 40-Year-Old Virgin.
But I mean, you had to release it a month before Christmas. You can't release something that's like 2 weeks before Christmas. You got to do it around that time because of that theme. You're really pinned into. Otherwise, you have to hold it a year, essentially.
You can't. I guess you can't dump it in like October, and if you put it out in January, they're like, man, people hate this movie. But
or they're Christmas out. They have enough of Christmas in January. They don't want. They're like, I'm good.
I'm not watching this. But 40-Year-Old Virgin was that year. Wedding Crashers was that year, and so this movie was kind of on another. Like those were like crass and bold and R-rated and
yeah,
like it was an Apatow movie, so it had maybe a little bit more heart. Wedding Crashers was like full like.
Well, it was Farrelly, right? Wasn't it the Farrelly brother theme around that time was really big about like kind of the crass, the over the top humor plus the sentimental side to it.
Yeah, no, you're right. Like there's some about Mary, but that was like 90s, I guess. But like this was like the rise of Apatow, and so this PG-13 movie comes out, just Friends, and it's not exactly like an R-rated. It's not hip, I guess, right? It's just more earnest. So I could see it getting lost in the shuffle and not being like a big hit like a Wedding Crashers or one of those films.
Yeah, I could. That's a really good point because there's some things in here that it seems like they were trying to be edgy, but it just kind of fell flat and it didn't age well.
Yeah, because you know what's interesting, Eric, and sorry to interrupt you, like when a movie's R-rated and like when it's unapologetically raunchy, like In Bruges, right? Or like a Tarantino movie, like the words that come out of these people's mouths like are far from appropriate.
It's foul, yeah, but in that setting, people accept it.
Because I don't know, I feel like you can kind of roll with it a little bit more. Like when you go to an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie and he kills 80,000 terrorists and they miss him with bullets, you're like, oh, it makes sense. Like Just Friends, man. Like we don't have to talk about it long, but like just the amount of like what homophobic words that were thrown out in this movie that's supposed to be super sweet and like about like understanding and like being yourself, but then they're calling each other all these words. Like it. I mean, I'm not saying any movie does it better if they're R-rated, but this was a rough. I don't know. It still stings.
There's some artifacts in the movie that you could tell were from years past and just didn't age well. Like some of the my brother's a homo jokes went over like a fart in church, man. Like it's like ew. It's just they stand out and they're just kind of ugly. Mm-hmm. But that's tough. If you're gonna try to do edgy comedy over a long period of time, I mean, I think you're gonna have some hits and you're gonna have some misses, and they had a lot of misses in here that just kind of stuck out like sore thumbs. It just didn't seem consistent with the rest of the movie. But I will say, that being said, I think Reynolds has done a good job maturing his brand of edgy comedy over the years. It's still edgy, but it's just not mean spirited. And I think what they had in there was definitely kind of mean spirited, and that's like one thing that's like I think holding it back from really being a classic. But I'm just glad when I hear those jokes from 15, 16 years ago, that just glad that we've moved on from that collectively.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked that it came out in 2005. I was thinking this was a 2001, 2002 movie because I didn't look at the date when I rewatched it. Then I saw 2005. I'm like, whoa. But I mean, like you said, yeah, Reynolds isn't doing that anymore. And I think that dialogue is a detriment to this movie. It's not, you can't really.
It doesn't add anything to it.
No, it's just, yeah, like you're not, like they're not trying to be provocative. They're not trying to be like, there's like no jerk characters or saying that. Like, there's no like outwardly horrible character that says stuff like that, and then they get their redemption, like a Scrooge type thing, like Gran Torino. These are just the people you're supposed to like. And a supposedly sweet rom-com saying stuff like this. So then that just doesn't gel. And I mean, listen, it wasn't cool back then, but nowadays I'm like, oof. But I mean, there's still enough, when I read about this movie though, people acknowledge that, but then I think there's enough little moments in here that make you enjoy it. But when I think about this movie from like 2005, I never once thought about the relationship between Palomino and Chris Brander. I just thought about Samantha James and her toothpaste and that stupid poster that like listen.
She actually had to do a photo shoot for that, and they the whipped cream didn't stay on her chest, so they had to use shaving cream because that was like the only thing that could hold up the cherries.
Oh man. And
And it's just like it almost took a day to get that one shot.
like, that makes sense though, because remember on the quad at FSU, all the posters that used to be sold for people's walls, like that's that's why it's so
there were
funny.
a lot of artifacts. They had cordless phones, like the
Yeah.
bits with the hello Joyce. Joyce?
Yeah, just seeing that.
Brother.
Oh yeah, and
Those
but yeah,
three iPhones too, the feature phones, and then the poster on the wall. That was a healthy dose of nostalgia. Seeing actual posters on the wall.
Mm-hmm. And just watching, I was watching Shang-Chi though, and I got very happy the other day because he had the Warriors poster on his wall, which is an amazing movie, and then he had Outcast, like Stankonia.
Oh, nice.
Like that's like one of my favorite albums of those. So I'm like, I like this dude. But yeah, like just the random posters, not even classy frame posters in an office, like just like that poster of Sam James. But it's so funny though because I think
The
that's
banana and the fruit.
that's what's funny though, because they're making like Varsity Blues, they're making fun of that kind of image, but like there's also saying that it sells incredibly, but it's just so stupid and over the top. Like that's the funniest part to me, because that seems like, they're just kind of taking a shot at those posters.
I think they're taking more of a shot at the Paris Hiltons of the world.
Yeah.
That's how she modeled that character.
Mm-hmm. And I like that she didn't try to play it even close to Paris Hilton. Like, she played if Paris Hilton had no inhibitions and was the Terminator. I don't know. I kind of dug that about her, and like she didn't understand aluminum foil. Oh man, but I miss Anna Faris, man. She had just such a run. She was like when she was headlining movies around the kind of time when that wasn't really that big. I mean, she came out with what? She did let's see, what did she do? The House Bunny. That was like a big movie. My Super Ex-Girlfriend. She was crushing it in the Scary Movie films, but then she popped up in like Brokeback Mountain and Lost in Translation. Like she had a pretty like from let's see 2000 with Scary Movie like up till actually she's doing Mom now and making a ton of bank on that. But I think she's had one of the most underappreciated runs in Hollywood because she was headlining movies. Like she was House Bunny. She was she was killing it in Just Friends. Like she was popping up in like her work in oh man, in Observe and Report. That was pretty daring. I wonder if that kind of did you see Observe and Report?
I have not. What happened?
Oh, it's just like the meanest movie. But no, everyone was expecting a Seth Rogen picture at the time, and like Anna Faris. But it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's tough. But I don't know.
So I didn't miss much.
Yeah, I don't think you missed much. But I just feel bad for her, man, because I feel like she just had. I mean, she has 152 episodes of Mom, so she's making huge syndication money, so it's cool. But I mean, she was headlining movies, and like I feel bad that like when people talk about stars, I think Anna Faris. Why do I keep saying Anna Gasteyer? I don't know, it's bad, but I like to run, man.
It's the Frozen. You've seen Frozen too many times.
Yeah, and also too like. I also think that Palomino, Amy Smart's had a good run there in the 80s, 90s. Observe and Report, Varsity Blues, like she kind of crushed it as well. I kind of missed but I think they both had personality though, more so than a lot of other.
It did.
Actors.
I mean, Amy Smart's like the pretty smart, approachable.
Yeah.
Character, like cool, smart, approachable. I think approachable is probably the best way to describe it. And
then she also had a good run, man. She was in Rat Race, she was in Starsky and Hutch, and then in the Craig movies. Holy moly! Oh, Road Trip.
Dude, what I found out is that she was in. Oh, geez, what's Troopers? Yes.
Yeah, the Pilot Cadet. That she was running with Denise Richards in a scene.
They were racing to see who could fly the plane. Denise Richards beat her. I think she should have been cast instead of Denise Richards. Personally, I mean, she would have been a great Carmen Ibanez.
Okay, question. Would Starship Troopers be better with Amy Smart and Denise Richards' role?
Would be better?
Because the tone that Verhoeven was going for, I think, fit Richards.
Oh, you're
perfectly.
right. You're right, because it was a little hokey with her and all her smiling. That was hokier. I think it's a good point. Okay. Under that framework and how he created and the intent of the movie. Yeah, it's a good point. I think it'd be more of like my personal preference versus what's better for the movie.
But no, man, I know it's weird that like we haven't talked much about Ryan Reynolds, but I think the Faris and Smart had good runs, man. They had good runs. They had solid runs, and people don't talk about it enough.
Ryan Reynolds, one thing we're talking about the different movies that people have done, and I'm really glad he did not get trapped in the romantic comedy zone. Like, I know this movie's all about getting caught in the friend zone. I'm glad he didn't get caught in the romantic comedy zone, because he did this one, The Proposal, the one where he was talking to his daughter about her mom. I don't remember which one that was.
Definitely, maybe.
Yes, that one. But he could have, like, he and like McConaughey, for example, they did a lot of romantic comedies, but they were able to evolve and pull themselves out. I think McConaughey had to do Magic Mike to like, I'm not doing any more of these movies. Whereas Reynolds made a strong pivot toward action. I mean, he's great with physical acting. So I was really glad to see that, but I'm really glad he was able to not get stuck in this genre.
Yeah, he's had an interesting career, Reynolds, because he survived like a lot of duds in his career. He just kind of, like, I know that sounds bad, but like R.I.P.D., Selfless, like he just keeps churning out movies and evolving.
No one has had more shots at being part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe than Ryan Reynolds. I mean, he was Deadpool 1. Was that Deadpool? Which one was the Wolverine movie?
Oh yeah, X-Men Origins.
He was there. And then he was also in the Blade movie, Blade Trinity, as a hero and from a comic book series. And then he was the Green Lantern, which even he makes fun of now. But on his fourth try with Deadpool, he finally got it. Yeah, and I appreciate that perseverance to finally make it to the right character.
I was looking at his evolution, and so like let's start with 2002 Van Wilder. He plays the same kind of same in air quotes, buying the cow, In-Laws. Well, he's kind of nicer on that. Like Harold and Kumar, Blade Trinity. Then he's in Waiting, and then Just Friends. He's kind of the same Reynolds. But then he went
womanizer, cool guy, kind of bro-like. You're right.
And then he switched over to Smoking Aces, and then he started doing serious roles with the Nines and Chaos Theory. Then Definitely Maybe proved he could be like an affable leading man, not just like a smarmy leading man. And then that led to Adventureland, which proved he could be like a sad. He's really good in that movie. He's quite sad in it. So he proved that, and then he went and got Buried. Jeez Louise, this is a heck of a run. He did Proposal, and then he went and did
Buried was good.
Yeah. But then he had the back-to-back of Green Lantern and then Change Up, like Wolf. But then he jumped in with Safe House, and then R.I.P.D. and then Voices.
Safe House, was that the one with Denzel?
Yeah, that was good.
Okay.
And then he slowly worked his way up to Deadpool. Now he's doing like Free Guy, which is really good. I mean, yeah, he's had an interesting evolution as an actor.
Well, I will say this role, it was a lot of slapstick, but he got to play two characters in this. Like the fat Ryan Reynolds, where that awkward sincerity at the beginning. I mean, that was like a good 10 minutes at the beginning of him in a fat suit, part of the movie. I mean, the plane, the party, and all getting ready for it. And then they had a ton of photos that they would look at during the movie. So while they filmed that, they must have done a lot of photo shoots together. And I kind of missed it. Like, this whole generation of kids growing up don't know the joy of looking at old printed developed photos that are not very good at all. You just, because you take a photo and you get what you get when you take the photo. And then the posters on the wall and all that nostalgia that came back. And he had a good arc. I mean, he was angry, funny, rude, romantic, but also when he went back to his room for the first time and saw the wall of Jamie Palomino, you could tell it hit him hard.
You're right. I think this gave him a chance to show some range, because I mean, how much range is there in I don't know, Waiting?
None.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe this kind of opened him up, because he did say that. Well, he was in Amityville before this, but it was just him shirtless. That role.
Was that a horror movie?
Yeah, it was a remake, and it was just based around like his shirtless being ripped.
Oh, okay.
I mean, to be fair, the Blade Trinity helped me lose 50 pounds.
That was a lot of eggs, though.
Yeah. I just kind of stopped eating pizza every night.
You had the Men's Health Ryan Reynolds Blade Trinity workout. Yeah. And you followed that from a magazine. I remember that when you were in college.
Yeah, I was too fit. Like, you remember, I could bench 350. I was like real strong, But like, remember I played basketball once and it hurt my knee, and I'm like, well, this isn't sustainable. I was like, I'm not making money doing this. So then, yeah, I stuck to his diet, kept working out, dropped 50 pounds. So yeah, I guess I owe Ryan Reynolds and Men's Health of that diet to drop 50 pounds. But also I was 22, man. Like, that's easy. Like, 22-year-olds shouldn't be applauded for losing. I don't know. At least in our, me and you.
He should naturally be in good shape.
Yeah.
Right.
But no, man. I mean, it was cool seeing his evolution. I think you're right. He got to show some more heart in this. He got to be more of like he got to show more of his comedy, not just like, hey, I'm a sarcastic guy. He got to be slapstick guy in this. Like, oh my gosh. So yeah, no, I think you're right. This maybe opened him up a little bit. And then he went to Smoking Aces where he played an adult. I mean, he was an adult.
A lot of people died in Smoking Aces, man. Yeah, I remember that. That was a crazy movie.
What a cast. But no, I think you're right, man. I think Just Friends is kind of the way he turned and started doing different kind of roles. Well, there it is, Eric. Just Friends leaves us a free guy. Not the Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, though.
So, there's the Hitman's Bodyguard. Was he in the Hitman's Bodyguard or the Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard?
Yeah, he's in both.
Oh, I only saw the first one.
And I gotta say, Free Guy is like one of my favorite 2021 movies, but I think Red Notice is the worst movie I watched in 2021. That or Army of the Dead.
It was just so unoriginal.
Yeah, I think COVID hurt it because it was supposed to be shot on location.
Mm-hmm.
And then COVID hit, and then they filmed it in a bubble in Atlanta. So a lot of people I know got work because of it. They couldn't see their families for like 3 months because they were in a COVID bubble. But I think everything had to be green screened as opposed to location shoots. So I think that messed it up. But well, hey man, anything else you want to say about this movie?
Yeah. How would you describe the movie in 10 words or less?
An awesome guy becomes more awesome when he stops trying to be so awesome.
It's actually really good.
I was
thinking guy. I think you're at like 11 or 12.
Oh, crap. Awesome guy becomes awesomer when he stops being fake awesome. There it is, 10 words.
Nice. I was thinking man confronts high school trauma and endures lots of pain. or the other one was like guy woos one woman while detaining another woman.
Yeah, that's the best. Woman is kidnapped for 4 days. Realizes best self. Oh,
hey, every episode we do together, I've got a section called Questions for Mark. I got 2 questions for you.
Yeah, cool.
I think one of Ryan Reynolds' comedic strengths, especially within physical comedy, is the way he discards stuff. When he was at the dentist, he spit all those foam pads out. Like he spit them all out. Or like when he flicked the letter to Jamie, he went to the party and Dusty was playing and he had the letter from her from high school. He just flicks it. Or like when he gets back to his house at the end, he just throws a suitcase. What's the trick to making discarding things funny? Like, why did I think that was funny or entertaining the way he flung stuff?
Man, I think that's just like his strength. Like, you know how there's like he's very good at those quick comments. He's very good at being like coming back at you. Like if you say something, you almost expect that he'll hit you with a good line. So the way he throws them away is just so quick and like nonchalant the way he does it.
Random almost?
Yeah, just and then out. Like he just does it. It almost feels natural when he does it. He's just a quick moving guy. So like when him throwing his thing away, it makes sense. Like he's very impulsive in these movies.
It's true to character.
Yeah.
Probably maybe that's what it is.
I mean, yeah, he's very impulsive in this movie. He doesn't think. So for him to throw off his suitcase and onto a car, like that's a very him move. And he just wants
so it's
to talk.
Consistent with the overall persona.
And he wastes no time in this movie. If he spent time taking out the things out of his mouth one by one, he would lose time. So he just spits them all out. He ain't got time for that.
He's efficient.
Yeah, he's efficient. There it is. He's efficient. Yeah.
Nice. Why did they use first and last name so much? I don't remember that in any other movie where most times they'll just go with the first name, but this one, everything was Chris Brander, Jamie Palomino, Samantha James, Dusty Dinkelman. everything was first and last names throughout the entire movie almost.
I mean, I think when there's alliteration, it's a lot easier to say the name. So like Dusty Dinkelman, like that's you have to say both, right? I guess
It does
you go
roll off the tip of your tongue a little bit.
Like I know Jerry Seinfeld says, like what does he say? Newman. It's kind of like a Dinkelman, but I mean Dusty Dinkelman, like I think when alliteration, like Corey Campbell, like that, you say those names more often, right? So Dusty, and then like
Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah, everyone says Ryan Seacrest. Carson Daly.
Yeah.
No one just says Carson. But like people go Pacino or De Niro.
Yeah. Why is that? I've just always wondered, did they just put more effort into names that really flowed? Or does it add anything to the movie using the first and last movie?
Because if you just said Johnson, no, you wouldn't know what you're talking about. So you have to say Dwayne Johnson. But if you said Palomino, everyone knows who Palomino is. So I guess Samantha James makes sense because you're like, oh, James or Sam. So like Samantha James makes sense, right? Because that's such a stock name, so you want to know who you're talking about. But Jamie Palomino, man, but I've never done that.
Remember the beginning when he ran away from that party crying after they're all making fun of him when they found the yearbook? He's like, Chris Brander, remember the name, as he was running away from the party. He even said his first and last name as he was running away.
I feel like they would call him Brand or something. But yeah, there's a lot of first and last names in this. Beautiful Girls, it wasn't like that.
No.
And like in Avengers, it's this Natasha or Tony or Thor or Cap. But I mean, Jamie Palomino, that's a good name. That's a good all the way through name.
Yeah, they all flow off the tip of the tongue, all the names.
Like people called us Hoff because Hofmeyer, but like you can't call her Pal. Oh man, where's Pal at? Like Jamie Palomino. But yeah, Dusty Dinkelman, you have to say.
Dinkelman. All right, last question. One more for you. What were your top 3 favorite parts of the movie?
Well, Joyce.
Joyce? Hello, Joyce.
I mean, I just loved her because that's so funny and that's a recurring bit. And then we'll go with, the I'm busy, because that's kind of funny. Like, because he has nothing to say after that. Like, just I'm busy, and he's like, oh man, like
I'm busy, you dick.
Yeah.
She called him a dick in front of her.
So that's number 2, because that's just beautiful. And then let's see, probably like the cookie bit with the brothers, because it was just nice and random. So I would say the cookie bits where they're like, love you, and then the I'm busy, you dick, and then Joyce, hello Joyce, like that's it. What about you?
I like the narration of when they were laying in bed together.
Oh yeah.
Because that was the only time they used the narration in the movie to kind of go through what he was thinking and that awkward feeling. You're like hanging out with someone that you know so well, but so much has changed in 10 years that you just don't know how to act, and you're so distracted, your mind's racing, you're paralyzed. But I really like how they had the physical comedy of his reactions and her reactions while going through what was in his head as well.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was a good way to mix things up and add a little element of, intrigue. It definitely got my attention and kept my attention when he was thinking about what to do.
I mean, it made it more human, that scene too. Like, it made it more vulnerable. So I think that was important too.
Yeah, it's a good way to show what's in your head as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like all these complex emotions that you have when the love of your life is laying next to you, but you're too much of a train wreck to like just enjoy the moment.
Yep. What's your second and third?
I liked Anna Faris singing, "You guys are assholes. You guys are assholes," with the guitar. She was recording the song Dancing Free with My Guitar. But I still don't understand how you can dance free with a guitar. Like, wouldn't it like hit other people around you? Yeah. Wouldn't it be like a swing everywhere?
You got to be alone. It's like dancing with myself with my guitar.
Like, I thought it was good writing. I think it takes talent to write a bad song.
Absolutely.
Like, you can write a bad song, but it takes talent to be a good writer writing a bad song. And I love a good Chekhov's gun moment. And then, how like if there's a gun, if you're reading a book and there's a gun on the wall, the gun had better, and you describe it, it's better come into play later on in the book. Well, it was the taser. On the plane, she introduces the taser and she goes, bam.
She threatened him with that. Oh man,
and then she got drilled by the brother when he was flipping it on the phone. So like they had a Chekhov's gun moment with a taser.
And then she uses it later on Brander.
You're right. I forgot.
Butts and balls get tased.
Nothing is safe from the taser.
Oh man. Oh, well, hey man, thank you so much for recommending this. I had a fun time revisiting this movie. It kind of brought back good memories of '05 and made me appreciate Anna Faris's run a lot more during that time. And, you know, it's a fun evolution of Reynolds too, so I think it's worth talking about.
Yeah, who knew a rom-com from 2005 would be so multi-layered?
Yeah,
and it pulled up after this long.
Oh wait, I did say, did you do Amy Smart? Your favorite Amy Smart movies? Did you get that list in?
I do have a list.
Yeah, let me see it. Let's hear it real quick because I asked you to do it, so I feel bad asking you and not hearing about it.
All right, we may have some overlap, so I'll start first. I'll go with Varsity Blues.
Yeah, strong, good girlfriend in there. Like you're mad at Vanderbeek for doing what he does.
Yeah, she was so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and then when he did that, I was like, that's a bad movie. I remember in like '99 when I was like a young teenager, I'm like, man, Vanderbeek, come on.
Yeah, really?
I'm gonna say Crank.
Okay, I'm gonna go Road Trip. That's the one where she called in a bomb threat in order for the guy to get back on time to like take his test.
That was cool. Yeah, she's super cool in that. I'm gonna say Rat Race.
Effortlessly cool. That's Amy Smart.
Effortlessly cool. I'm gonna go. You know what? Rat Race because I love her flying a helicopter and throwing wrenches out of it and laughing maniacally.
I'm gonna go Starship Troopers because she should have been Carmen. In my opinion.
Eric Cassidy. I'm gonna go on Outside Providence.
Good one. I'm gonna take 12 Dates of Christmas. only because like I'm a sucker for a good holiday cheesy romantic comedy. I've always have. I know you are too from time to time.
Oh heck yeah.
And I saw this one, and I actually haven't seen it yet, but I would watch it just because of Amy Smart. I think it just popped up on Netflix as I was watching Just Friends.
It's got to have good production design. I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to take Crank High Voltage, because her performances are insane in these movies. So I'm going that.
I need to revisit that. Okay, I'll wrap it up with Just Friends.
Oh, man. I didn't even think about that. I'll go Starsky and Hutch, because she's fun in that.
Oh, it's her and Carmen Electra.
Yeah. Hey, we just.
But that was one of the few movies where she was purely like a sex symbol or a sex object. Most of the time, she was like a cool, like a partner sort of thing.
Yeah, you're right. Do I want to change my thing now? No, I'll keep it. I'll keep it with that. She's in a dance movie, which I kind of want to check out. But anyway, well, thank you so much for joining me, man.
Yeah, man, that was awesome.
This is cool. All right, so for me, Mark Hofmeyer, for Erik Hofmeyer, this is Movie Films and Flicks. We'll see you next week.
Watch out for body shakes.
Oh man, the director made the writer do that in front of the entire crew with the producer.
What?
Body shake with someone because he didn't like the way Amy Smart and Ryan Reynolds were doing it. So he made the writer show everyone how to do it in 40-degree weather.
That was painfully awkward.
Well, that's one last fact for you. That actually happened in the guy's life, so that's a bonus for you on Movies, Films, and Flicks here. We'll see you next week, guys.